Hi, I'm Adam Malloy.
And I'm Irma Lancaster. On tonight's Parent University, we'll tell you all about the resources the district offers for homeless students, as well as a new training for parents called the Nurtured Heart Approach.
Not to mention an exciting new district program called Connect with Lee, and how to make musical instruments with items that you have at home.
And tonight is the last session. What's next? Graduation. We'll give you all the details.
All that and more on this session of Parent University.
Hello everyone, welcome to Parent University. I'm Adam Wright, and joining us today is Sheena Torres Nunez, the homeless liaison for the school district of Lee County. Sheena, thanks for being on Parent University.
Yes, thank you so much, Adam, for having me. I'm so excited to be able to come on and give some dialogue and conversation regarding the district's homeless education program.
Yeah, so we're going to talk about the resources and services offered through our homeless education program, but first, could you tell us briefly what you do as the homeless liaison?
Yes, so essentially my primary role and responsibility is to serve as a liaison for students and families who are identified in the school district as being homeless. When we look at homelessness, we primarily talk about families who are displaced and living in temporary living arrangements. So one of my primary roles is to assist with the identification, but also facilitating educational resources to ensure that our students who are identified as being homeless, they're able to attend school and achieve all of their educational goals.
I know that there are maybe some misconceptions out there about what being homeless means. Can you so when we say homeless, what are we talking about exactly?
So one of the biggest challenges, and I'm so happy you brought up this question, Adam, is that there is a huge misconception. Oftentimes when people think of homelessness, they think of someone who's living on the streets or someone who may be sleeping in a campground. Now, we do have families who are living unsheltered, which is what we consider per HUD's definition, which is those who are living in their cars, campgrounds, or in place not meant for human inhabitation. However, for the school district's identification in our homeless education program, Project Access, we look at the transitional piece, so being displaced. So we also consider families who are considered to be homeless are families who are doubled up, living temporarily with family members, and also those who are living temporarily in motels, hotels, and also families who are living in transitional shelter units.
So essentially somebody who they don't have a permanent residence of their own?
Yes, so one of the biggest pieces is that transitional piece, because historically what we have found is that students who do lack stable residential locations, they do face unique academic challenges in regards to being engaged in school and also accessing their school education.
Yeah, I want to ask you more about those challenges in just a second, but before we get into that, can you give us an idea of how many homeless students we have here in the school district of Lee County?
So historically, as a district, typically we identify between 1,300 to 1,500 students a year who are typically displaced and considered homeless per the McKinney-Ventose definition of homelessness. For this current school year, we currently have identified 777 students as being homeless and displaced.
Okay, so that's probably more than a lot of people out there might have realized. So you just briefly touched on it, but being homeless, not having that stable place of residence, what kind of challenges does that present to students and their families, not only in school, but maybe in life as well?
Yeah, I think one of the biggest challenges, especially first beginning with the educational piece, is that oftentimes students who are displaced, they have challenges in regards to accessing school. So oftentimes these are students who may be frequently tardy, sometimes absent, and even they may come to school and be unprepared because once again, if they're living from location to location, sometimes they may leave their uniform items or their school supplies at the residence that they resided at previously. So oftentimes these students have challenges in regards to coming to school prepared physically, but also emotionally. There's a lot of trauma associated with homelessness. I think the piece of having the uncertainty of going home from day to day and not knowing what to expect, not knowing where you will be living, definitely causes a unique emotional impact on our students who are identified. So I think one of the biggest challenges is not just the physical piece for homeless students, but also the emotional stress that it causes students, which could impede their ability to also be present to learn.
Now, of course, on top of all those challenges, we're also dealing with a pandemic. Has COVID-19 impacted homeless students in a unique way?
Yeah, and honestly, Adam, I'm happy you touched on this particular piece because what Typically what we find is that I think people expected that when COVID-19 happened, that there was going to be this huge surplus of individuals who are displaced and identified as being homeless. But the opposite has happened, where because of stipulations such as the no eviction moratorium, and also because of funding that has come about from the relief packages, many families have been able to be sustained in their current housing arrangements. Now, once some of this aid does lift, I think that we will see a rapid increase in the number of families identified because of COVID. And then additionally, with the distant learning model programs and options for students, as I stated before, the educational accessibility challenges are no longer there because students, even though they're living from residence to residence, are able to tune in and participate virtually.
Okay. All right, well, back to the services and resources that are offered. Obviously, that, the main reason we wanted to have you on is to help raise awareness about our homeless education program. So to the students and their families out there, we have services and resources. What are some of those resources that we offer as a school district to help these families out?
And so once again, one of the primary purposes and missions of the homeless education program, which we proudly identify as Project Access, is to ensure that students who are identified through the program have accessibility to school. So we assist with items such as school uniforms, school supplies, shoes, brand new shoes, through our partnership with Laces of Love, socks, underwear, hygiene products, essentially any item that a child may need to be able to attend school and feel prepared, we provide those resources. In addition to that, one of the other really big resources that we provide for our families is also school of origin transportation, where if they are displaced, let's say it's a student who attends school in the East Zone, but because of homelessness now reside in a hotel in the South Zone, if that student is identified, we will provide transportation cross-county and out of zone. Additionally, one of the other big pieces that we always want to make our families aware of is that when students are enrolling into our district, if they are displaced and identified as being homeless, we can enroll those families without the historical needed and required enrollment documentation, because oftentimes when families are displaced and moving from residence to residence, they lose important documents such as birth certificates and physical records. So we can also enroll those students immediately without any delay so that they can attend school.
Okay. Do you have any advice for teachers who, I know that part of their job as a teacher is maybe to realize or
help assist with the identification.
Yes, identify.
Yes,
That's the word I was
yes.
looking for. The teachers are, sometimes they may have to identify whether a student is homeless. So any advice to teachers who are in that situation?
Yes, the greatest advice that I can give to a teacher, a school staff member, a community-based member is that make sure that you contact either the homeless education program and or the school-based social worker at each respective school site. Once again, the definition of homelessness for the homeless education program versus HUD's definition and some of our other community-based resources, it does differ. So we do not want that to ever be a limitation or a barrier to us possibly identifying a family. So even if you're not sure, be sure to contact either myself personally or even the school-based social worker at your school site, because once again, we do have the educational background. We also know how to have these very sensitive conversations, because once again, going back to what I mentioned before, there's a lot of a trauma associated with families being homeless, becoming homeless because they've been evicted or escaping domestic violence, whatever the circumstances may be, there's a lot of trauma there. So we are equipped to have those sensitive conversations with students and also with families to get them to engage in services, because also the stigma is a big barrier as well, Adam, where families feel that because I'm homeless, that this means I'm neglecting my child, and that is not the case. So we're here to be a source of support. So I don't want any teacher, school staff member, and or community affiliate to feel as though they bear that responsibility, but to more so contact us and allow us to be a place of support.
So how should they contact you? What's the best way to contact you?
Okay, so the best way to contact myself is you can reach me through the homeless education program, once again, which is Project Access. They can call me directly at 239-337-8333, or they can also contact the Department of Social Work Services, which is 239-337-8522.
All right, and I just thought of another question to ask you
Yes,
as we
go
were
for
talking.
it.
So maybe for any parents out there, families who are watching this, who are not homeless, but they may want to help. Is there anything that they can do to help?
Yes, and so one of the other big things is that we have some amazing community partners that are constantly working with the school district of Lee County to make sure that even for students who are homeless and also students who are not homeless, that resources are being provided. So if someone would like to donate, they can definitely contact me directly as well. We have amazing partnerships with with United Way, Laces of Love, just to name a few, the Daughters of the American Revolution. I mean, there are so many amazing community partners who are vested in ensuring that our identified homeless students and even families just in need have those resources available to them. So if someone would like to donate, I definitely welcome them to contact me and we can discuss that further. But one of the other things, Adam, bringing up this conversation is also, even if a family is not homeless, also contact us, because all of our resources are not just geared towards homeless students. You know, we also have resources for families who may just be in need. Let's say it's a student who needs a new pair of tennis shoes or a backpack or school supplies. You know, school social workers are there to really be a source of support. So either reach out to the school-based social worker or myself personally, and I'll be happy to facilitate those resources.
All right, and your contact info one more time?
My contact information once again is 239-337-8333.
All right, Sheena, anything else that you wanted to mention?
Listen, the biggest thing is that we're here, we're social support, and I think the biggest piece is education is really key in regards to identification and also facilitating timely resources and support for our homeless students. So I just appreciate the opportunity to come on Parent University and provide this dialogue and this conversation, and I hope that, you know, families who need this information are able to receive it.
So do I. All right, Sheena Torres-Nunez, Homeless Liaison for the School District of Lee County. Thank you so much for being on Parent University.
Yes, thank you,
Appreciate your
Adam.
time, and we will be right back with Christine Abrams with information on the Nurtured Heart approach.
Thank you. I'm Christine Abrams, as Adam said, and I wanted to talk to you today about the Nurtured Heart approach. It's really a way to bring out the greatness in your children who might seem really intense sometimes. So what does the Nurtured Heart do? I can tell you what it does. It helps parents and children connect more deeply. You may have a child who is oppositionally defiant, driving you crazy, but let me tell you, that intensity is something that you can turn around to bring out your child's greatness. It not only works with children, believe me, it works with your pets, it works with your partner, it works with anyone you come into contact with. It's a relationship technology that is something parents need, everybody needs right now, particularly in this really difficult time. It helps you manage your children in a way that brings out the best in them. And it develops a relationship between the both of you so that it's satisfying. There's no more fighting. There's no more power struggles. And it's worked. I've taught over 300 parents this approach, and I'm telling you, it's a dream for many parents. So basically, the Nurtured Heart approach is 3 very, very basic stands. And when I say stand, I mean take a stand. You have to stick to these stands as if your life depended on it. And they're really easy. There's only 3. The first one is absolutely no. You're not going to energize negativity at all. What do I mean by that? Your child's going to break rules. Why? Because intense kids want to connect to you really deeply. They want love, and that's the only way they know how to get it. So they break a rule, and you go, what? And you have animation. You're better than a cartoon. You're better than any video game because you're responding in a big way. And the child learns that, wow, I can get mom or dad when I do something wrong. But when I'm doing something right, I get, oh, good job, or I get nothing. But I want to connect to my parents. And so that's what they do. Trust me, driving you crazy is a good thing because you don't want your kid to completely ignore you where you know nothing about the child. So this is a communication to speak to you and get your attention and love. That's stand 1. So what you're not going to do is have that big reaction when the child breaks a rule. What you will do is stand 2. Absolutely yes. You're going to look for something that's going right. So absolutely yes really means you're going to energize everything that's going right. Because, you know, we're hardwired to look for the wrong things. And that's evolutionary. When we were cave people, when we saw beautiful bushes swaying back and forth, they weren't so beautiful. There might be a tiger behind there, so we're always looking for something to go wrong. That doesn't serve us now in the 21st century. So what you want to do is see what your child is doing. And it could be as simply as, well, Brian, you're sitting there writing your homework. That's it. It could be, Brian, you helped your sister. You were so kind to her. You picked up all the blocks that she knocked over. That says you're a kind and loving brother. That's the kind of stuff. And when your child gets big energy around the good stuff, the bad stuff will start to lessen. And then there's stand 3. Absolutely clear. Clear rules and clear consequences. Children love structure, so you need to have clear rules and reasonable consequences. And one of the consequences we use in Nurtured Heart is called the reset. And that's basically taking a pause for both parent and child so both of you can get back to a path to success. And so basically, if you're committed to stands 1 and 2, stand 3 using the reset will work. That's it in a nutshell. But don't take my word for it. I'd like to show you what parents and kids are saying.
The biggest thing for me really was the amazing difference this approach made with my son, who my husband and I had given up hope on. I'm thinking, I'm not the mom for this kid. I don't know what to do. So the Nurtured Heart approach turned all of that around, told me I am the right mom for this kid. Actually, it's even better than I ever thought it was going to be. I can be a better mom than I ever thought I could be because of this.
Once we knew how to have beautiful, intentional relationships, and once our eyes were turned on what was right about them instead of focusing on all the diagnoses, all the things that were wrong, all the things that the predictions would be like, oh, this is gloom and doom. Once we knew how to go, no, we're just going to stay in this moment right here. And in this moment, we see greatness. In this moment, we see what's right. In this moment, you are magnificent. And we knew how to do that. It changed our hearts. And then we could parent them.
The tools that the approach provides just provide so much support for, okay, what do I do when she's upset? Or what do I do when I'm upset? It's just, okay.
And your clarity and your boundaries to trust when I can handle it doesn't feel like abandonment, it feels empowering. And so it just kind of, I don't know, it's really good for parent-adult-child relationships.
Yeah, there's not
Oh
an
my
age
gosh.
limit on it.
No.
And I keep saying, if the whole world can just get it, if the world can just get it, if the world can just get it. I can say that over and over. It would be such a much more beautiful world, a wonderful place to live if we remember to see the greatness in others.
Turkeys lay eggs. Jeremiah, that's when you may come out of reset. Turkeys. You need some help? Jameer, can you help him out?
Turkeys go gobble gobble.
Turkeys gobble. Jeremiah, thank you for receiving that help from Jameer. And Jameer, thank you for helping your classmate out. That shows a good partnership going on right there. Good teamwork. Christina.
A dog can run.
A dog can run. Let's get another thing about a dog. Jordan. Dog. Give me something about a dog.
A dog barks a lot.
A dog barks. And you know what, Jordan? I don't know if you paid attention, but right here we have that a turkey gobbles and a dog does what? Barks. So you just showed me the difference between these two. You compared and contrast right there. Good job, Jordan. All right.
2 school years ago, we had 45 students that were ineligible to return because their pattern of disruptive behavior did not improve over the course of the year. Last year, there were only 5 that really were problematic and were unable to return. So that's a big drop for us, from 45 to actually 5 in that year's time.
It makes your individual life better, your relationships better, it makes you happier, it makes you feel like you're contributing to the world, and it's synonymous with making the world a better place.
So what I can absolutely guarantee is exquisite moments of recognizing who you are and the gift that you are, and the joy of playing with the gift you are. It will happen. It will happen. It will happen.
Now that you've seen what parents and children have to say about the Nurtured Heart approach, I would love for you to join me from a 6-week training that's once a week, about an hour and a half a week. That's it. It's not a big commitment, but join me to learn this approach from the inside out. Trust me, it will change your life. It will change your children's lives. So I hope to see you. To contact me, please email me at christinelab@leeschools.net, and I will send you a registration link. We'll be meeting on Zoom, and I really hope to see you there. Thank you.
Right now is the time to buy in real estate, especially for teachers of Lee County. Ed Zoller has a program that has been helping teachers for years called Teachers Can Buy Homes, benefiting both students and staff greatly. Ed Zoller is giving a helping hand to Lee County teachers.
I'd like to keep teachers who want to stay in Lee County in Lee County.
For the past 5 years, Zoller's been helping teachers purchase homes through his program, Teachers Can Buy Homes.
Teachers in general, they take care of our students. They're with our students longer than the parents are with their kids. And so what kind of model are we setting when teachers can't even buy homes? What are they going to teach those kids?
The program, however, has a twist. Teachers get back a portion of Zoller's commission for selling the home that they can then use to invest towards their school.
Jonathan!
One of these schools is Colusa Middle. Their AVID program received extra funding thanks to Teachers Can Buy Homes.
1, 2, 3.
We would be able to go on field trips to the local colleges or to we'd explore the high schools online.
It's just like an overall good program to prepare yourself for the future.
Before the pandemic took over, Colusa's AVID program used the money to hold a friendship ball, where the students came together to eat and have a fun night with friends at the FSW college campus.
It taught me how to work with people and, cooperate with others.
Cherry Gibson, principal of Sunshine Elementary School, also bought a home through Zoller, and says the extra money benefits everyone.
It definitely helps with school culture and morale, same thing for our kiddos.
At Sunshine, the money has been put towards curriculum, field trips, and parties for students and staff to celebrate their success.
Kids always need to be celebrated, and so do our teachers.
Since 2015, 57 schools have benefited from Zoller and his program, receiving more than $100,000 using the funds for things such as solar cars, playground equipment, new roofs, and even butterfly gardens. And although he loves to give back, his overall mission as the district continues to grow and more teachers move in, it is Zoller's hope to keep Lee County teachers in Lee County. This is Skylar Mickey with Lee Schools TV.
We have completed 1 year of upheaval to the school district, teachers and staff who work here, and students and their families. Transformative crises like COVID create enormous stresses at home and in school, but also provide limitless opportunities for members of the Lee County School District community to learn and grow. One of those opportunities is Parent University, giving you access to all kinds of information important to parents. Information you may access at a time and place convenient to you. Today we will learn about Connect with Lee, live educational experts, a new virtual after-school program for academic support beyond the classroom, so students may receive help with homework and class assignments. We welcome your thoughts about new ways to bring important information to you and suggestions for future programming. And thank you for your commitment to being an informed parent, eager to support your student on their learning journey.
Thank you, Ms. Morgan. All right, parents, let's talk homework. If you're anything like me, there's always going to be that time or 2 or 3 when you just can't help your kids anymore with the assignments and the questions they have, right? Well, how about some free online help with a certified teacher? Connect with Lee is a new service that the school district is offering to you and your students. And here to tell us more about it is Candace Alivedo. She's the Director of Curriculum for our high schools. Candace, thank you for coming in and bringing us up to date. It's been a couple weeks now that we've had Connect with Lee. You wanted a soft launch, you had a rocket launch right before spring break. A lot of people were interested in this.
They really were. So we launched Monday before spring break, and that first night we actually had 96 families connect with our live educational experts. That is what we are calling them. And throughout the week we were a steady 100 students every single night, Monday through Thursday. So we actually ended our soft launch with over 400 students and families that we were able to help support, just like you said, with any of those homework or classwork assignments that you're looking at as a parent and going, whew, it's been a long time since I've done that. Let me dial in and get some help from somebody who is teaching it in the field today.
Right, so how does Connect with Lee work? If you've got a student who's stumped with a question and needs help, what do they do?
So the student can go on any electronic device and go to launchpad.leeschools.net. So it's the student's launchpad that they're used to using every single day. But the benefit is it doesn't have to be from their Chromebook. So if you happen to be out or a younger elementary student and you don't have your district Chromebook, you can go from any electronic device and they go to their launchpad. And on Launchpad, there's a cute little icon that says Connect with Lee. When they click that icon, it's going to open up to a web page. And it's sorted by elementary school, middle school, and high school. And the student and the family, they just find their appropriate grade level or content area, and they log into a Zoom classroom. And waiting for them on the other side is that live educational expert. And the benefit of this is it's from kindergarten through 12th grade. So you've got some advanced courses, there's a teacher in there for you as well. So it's not just limited to our core classes that we think about, it's all levels of students.
And this is one-on-one help as well. So you're there with just the teacher, your student, getting their questions, the help that they need.
It is. It's absolutely amazing because the student comes in with their individualized need and the teacher is there working with them one-on-one. And the teacher is able to see their waiting room. So if there's other students on our webpage, it does let our families know that you might wait 15 to 20 minutes. And that is because we want to provide that individualized attention. What the student is coming on for is going to be very unique to the assignment that they have. So it's really important that they get that one-on-one time with their teacher.
And this is available every afternoon when school is in session, correct?
It is. It's available Monday through Thursday while school's in session. So we didn't have it obviously over spring break, but we are right back up rocking and rolling. It starts at 3:30 and it ends at 7:30. The only caveat to that is if you're a middle schooler, you're still in school at 3:30, so you shouldn't be accessing Connect with Lee yet. So our middle school teachers come on at 4:30, but everybody ends till 7:30.
What's it look like in these couple weeks since? What's the subject that most people need help with? What are you finding?
Math. It always seems to be math. That seems to be the subject areas where our families don't always feel the most comfortable with the content area. So we are seeing really in third through geometry, a lot of connections for mathematics, putting up those problems and working through it. So it's been great to see the teachers, they have up virtual whiteboards and they're working out problems and kids are writing down and holding up their papers, but it is definitely mathematics. Our algebra classrooms are quite busy in the evenings.
Oh, that they are. Well, it's great that we have this for all of our students to get some help with homework or assignments. There's also a program that's just for high school students, Back on Track, that's going to help them make sure they're ready to graduate at the end of their 4 years. Tell me about that.
So that one is unique to our 9th through 12th graders, and really we were looking for students who maybe during the first semester, due to everything going on, didn't get all of their credits, because in high school we award credit at the semester. So here we are, second semester, you don't want to be falling behind, especially if you are a freshman. So each of our 15 high schools reached out to their students who were in need of recovering credit, and those students can either stay after school and again work with a certified teacher to receive credit, try to earn back that credit, or they can go home and they can Zoom in. We know if we've learned anything this past year that it is really important to provide our families choice and options. So again, the flexibility, it's unique to the school, whether it's on campus or virtually. But that student logs into their Edgenuity course, which is a self-paced virtual course, and they're working through it. But because it's self-paced, sometimes I need that teacher to give me that extra push, that motivation, and help. Like, I just need clarification. What does that mean? They have access to that teacher. And it's small group as well. So while it's not one-on-one like Connect with Lee, they are small group settings, so we again can provide that individualized attention we know our students really need.
The key here is to get these credits early. Make it up as soon as you possibly can, rather than your last semester trying to fit it all in the last couple months.
Absolutely. So kind of twofold. If you think about our seniors who are getting ready, trying to walk across that stage, we want to make sure they're provided with every opportunity to graduate on time. But then a freshman, we know that if you start that freshman year off wrong, it is really hard to recover. So let's go ahead and get on the right track now so you are on track for an on-time graduation.
We got Connect with Lee for homework help and assignment help, Back on Track to make sure our high schoolers are ready to graduate. hopefully our parents and our students can take advantage of this through the rest of the school year.
Absolutely, we're hoping to help them.
All right, thank you, Candace, for coming in. Coming up next, we're going to make some music with some everyday household items. Jason and Emily, over to you.
Hello, everybody. So glad to see you. Hello, everybody. So glad to see you.
Hello and welcome to this activity segment of Parent University. I am Emily Emmerich with Lee Schools TV. Normally I am behind the camera, but I am subbing in to be on with Jason Squared. We have Jason Sill, and we have our special guest, Jason Tomaszewski, who is our Fine Arts Coordinator for the district. Jason, thank you for being on.
Thanks for having me. Jason, we were actually out at your school a couple years ago and you were Teacher of the Year. And that song, just so you know, that's a song that I remember when we were out there that day, you were singing that with your students. Tell us a little bit about the background of that song. So that's the Hello Song. I predominantly taught K to 5 in my career, and the Hello Song is a warm-up song. Every time my students walked in, we would sing that song, get them in the mood, set them, set their math and reading aside. It was time. It kind of gave them this like sense of like, all right, this is music time.
Yeah, and we were both music kids in our high school experience too, so we kind of know the importance of music and arts in our schools, so thank you for fostering that with our kids. So we're gonna kind of get into our first activity here. You used maracas in elementary school, I'm sure.
Oh yeah.
So Easter is around the corner, and you might have a lot of these leftover plastic Easter eggs at home. We recommend filling your Easter egg with either lentils or beans or popcorn kernels that you might have at home. You put that in your Easter egg, and then what you do is with masking tape, make certain to tape the edge of the egg just to keep those kernels inside. And then you will cup the plastic spoons around. You will wrap tape around those plastic spoons. And then you have your maracas. So.
Yeah, and you know what, Emily? Earth Day is actually in April too. So,
oh yeah.
So this is a good use of using, reduce, reuse, recycle. So this is a good way to
I forgot to touch upon that. That's why we wanted to use some recycled goods for this segment as well. So with maracas, what are some typical rhythms or things you can use to incorporate maracas into your music?
Maracas are great for keeping beat with any song. Like if you just put on the radio and you just wanted to like outline the beat for your students. The cool thing about maracas is like when you're playing drums, your hands can only move so fast, but with maracas, you can get a lot quicker with them. Yeah. So anything, exactly. So any type of faster rhythm will be good. It's really impressive, the sound on these. I know,
it's
just like,
It's literally just plastic Easter egg, masking tape, plastic spoons, and if you have those beans or lentils, or like we use popcorn kernels.
So I know we're gonna probably do some other instruments, but other than instruments, what are some other ways that like parents at home can sort of foster some of this music knowledge for their kids? Singing is the most important thing you can do for your child's development. We learn music the same way we learn a language. We have to cultivate it and nurture it like we nurture a language. We speak to our students, we speak to our children when they're young, when they're at birth, we teach them how to speak our language by modeling it for them. Just like singing. Even if you think you're not a good singer, singing for your child is the number one most important thing you can do to nurture musical development. Also just exposing them to a lot of different types of music. Recordings of bands playing, YouTube's got tons of great stuff, and it doesn't have to just be classical music. It could be rock, it could be, folk music, cultural music that's important to your family. It's really important to develop a child's music ability. So I was gonna say, it's not just lullabies, it could just be something that's on the radio, singing in the car, jamming out. We love to do that in the Sill household, so that's great. The more you can listen to music, the better. Very cool.
And how does that help in other aspects of a kid's education?
So because music is learned the same way we learn language. It uses the same neurons that you use for reading and writing, and then actually it uses a lot more. It connects your brain. Music is a whole brain activity. So when you're engaging in music activities, you're using every neuron that you have that relates to language development.
Really
fascinating.
Cool.
All right, Em, what do we got next?
Okay, we have these bottle cap castanets. This is actually pretty simple. If you have any of that tacky glue at home, or what I use is a hot glue gun, but if you don't have a hot glue gun, tacky glue would work just fine. Get yourself some bottle caps. All you need is 2, and then a strip of cardboard. So then you glue your bottle caps on. and then you fold your cardboard over, and it makes these really simple castanets. And the noise out of these castanets,
It's great. I'm very impressed with these.
Click and I'll do it.
You can definitely listen when you're listening to music. You can just take out these castanets and try to play along with the melody of something.
And again, this uses recycled goods. You might have some cardboard laying around from Christmas leftover, those gift boxes, and bottle caps on those soda bottles, and just glue. Simple as that.
So again, Jace, just tell us, why do you think it's so important to get kids started off in music so early on? Oh, it's the greatest lifelong lesson. You know, how many people when they grow up wish they played an instrument as a kid? You know, it's just something that you grow and cultivate and love, and it's in every aspect of our lives. You know, we get married, there's music at our wedding, there's music in stores that we shop in, we have favorite radio songs that we listen to. Like, just so important to appreciate music at a young age and cultivate it so that when we are adults, we get the full experience.
And I think I know this, but there is some correlation too with academics and being involved in music, just like sports. I mean, the more kids are involved in things, right? I mean,
without a doubt. Like I said before, it's a whole brain activity. Music boosts, and there's that communal aspect of it too that you may not get with some of the other academic disciplines. That art of music, even when we were just playing earlier together, it felt real good. You know, communal music making is something that's super important.
So you actually have something interesting here in front of us. I see a tin can. You also have a cutting board and a mini tambourine.
Yeah, and it doesn't have to be a mini tambourine. I used to do this with my students when I taught. It was just a way of making a tabletop drum set. So you have some type of metal that you can use as a cymbal. Okay. The cutting board acts as your snare drum, and then the tin can be your tom-tom. And I also put a piece of foam on the top of it, and I painted it green just because it looks a little bit cooler that way.
Does it muffle the noise?
It does, yeah. It muffles the noise so it's not as tinny when you hit it without it. But also adds another sound that you can make almost like a cowbell, you know. And you can scrape down the side like a güero. Yeah, so, you know, it makes a little tabletop drum set. And your kids can get really into it, and, you know, and any piece of metal, like a tiny pot or, you know, something, I don't know, insert any type of metal object in your house, like the leg of a chair would work. It makes that simple
maybe
sound.
like a shredder or something?
Yeah, shredder, yeah. Anything you can find in your kitchen. And these are tiny drumsticks, but I've also used the ends of wooden spoons before instead, so you can just use things that you already have in your house. Right?
Very cool. Now, one thing you did say that I thought was interesting. You said by age 10, it's game over as far as teaching you new things.
So music learning theory has this idea that your music aptitude, your ability to achieve music, is capped at the age of 10. Once you're there, you can still achieve, but it might take you a little bit harder. So if we can cultivate that music aptitude up till about the age 7, 8, 9, 10, in that area it starts to cap at, which is important. Reason why elementary music is so important is, you know, those are your elementary years. So in combination with the parents and the elementary teacher can really raise that music aptitude at 10.
Very cool. All right, so we don't waste any more time. Let's get a little drum session
here.
Here. Close it out.
Okay.
So we talked about things you can do at home. The drum circling is the easiest thing you can do at home because you only need yourself, or in this case, rubber trash cans.
Yes.
And if you've ever seen a professional drum circle, there's always a guy in the center keeping some type of steady, beat for everybody. And then the people around that person keeping that steady beat can do something a little bit different. As long as it fits within what's going on in the center. And the center can change. And when he changes in the center, the people around them get a little bit different. And it can be simple things as one note.
Very cool.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Awesome.
Yes,
Thank you so
Jason,
much.
thank you so much. And back to more Parent University in a bit.
In November 2018, Lee County voters chose to invest in education by passing the half-cent sales tax referendum. Since then, more than $163 million in tax revenue has been collected to use on projects aimed at helping us reach our mission of becoming a world-class school system. So far, we've spent more than $93 million of that revenue collected. Of that, more than $31 million has gone towards maintenance projects. These projects include new HVAC units at schools like Fort Myers High, Three Oaks Middle, Cape Elementary, and more. New roofs at schools like G. Weaver Hips Elementary, Calusa Middle, Cypress Lake High, and more. New windows, new fire alarms and sprinkler systems, and electrical and lighting upgrades at several schools.
When our facilities are maintained the way that they should, then it makes that a prime learning environment for all of our students.
More than $29 million has been spent on improving and upgrading safety and security measures at schools across the district, such as the installation of brand new state-of-the-art surveillance systems.
Adaptive technology such as artificial intelligence, for example, to complement will allow our cameras to think like humans and to help the personnel on site make decisions of whether there's a threat or not.
We've also spent more than $16 million on technology, increasing the amount of Chromebooks at more than 36 schools. And we've added modernized interactive AV systems to more than 24 schools so far. And finally, to keep up with our ever-growing population, we've spent more than $16 million building new schools and expanding current campuses, including a new addition for the JROTC program at Lehigh Senior High School.
The benefits of this building are allowing us to properly train and educate our 1,322 cadets. Before we were kind of packed in on top of each other. Now we have enough classroom space.
A brand new pre-K center on the campus of James Stevens International Academy, a new campus for Lehigh Acres Middle, and the all-new Gateway High School campus is nearly complete.
I feel confident that I will be able to succeed because if you're the first graduating class of a high school, then you set the standard.
Moving forward, we have a lot of new projects in the works, including 2 more new schools, and we will continue to be good stewards of taxpayer money.
I can't thank the community enough for their support. This new funding source allows us to build the schools we need to meet the growth challenges that we have, not just today, but also into the future. It helps us to make our schools more secure. It also helps us put technology in the hands of our students to meet their needs so it prepares them for the world tomorrow.
For more information, visit leeschools.net and click on the sales tax dashboard icon on the homepage.
Well, that's our session for today. I can't believe this is the last session of the school year, Adam.
What an amazing kind of rush for this program. I'm so happy to be a part of this and be connected with these parents that have been with us the entire journey.
I feel like it was just yesterday that we were sitting here inviting parents to join us on this new endeavor, and we didn't know how it was going to turn out, and the district team really pulled it together, and we've had a lot of interaction from our family.
Yeah, much like a lot of things with this year, you know, the disruption allowed us to grow, and I think that Parent University is one of those major successes.
I believe so, and we've had a lot of participation, and we realized with the challenges of the year that maybe you were not able to participate in 6 out of the 8 sessions, which includes graduation, as we had told you at the beginning of the year. So I think for this first year, we had discussed maybe for this first time, we just do 5 sessions and you qualify for graduation.
Yeah, 5 sessions fully completed. You can still go online, watch the Parent Universities, and complete the survey.
Yes, just go to our website. You'll find all the videos, all the surveys in English and in Spanish. So please do take advantage of that because we want to see you at graduation. We'd love to see our parents.
Speaking of graduation, you want to tell them a little bit about it?
Yes, so it will be May 7th here at the School District of Lee County School Board Room. We will invite the superintendent, board members, and special guests. And you can bring your family with limited capacity. We'll have COVID safety restrictions, of course, but we want to be able to celebrate you and your engagement and your dedication to your child's education. So we hope to see them there.
Yeah, we really want to celebrate that special connection that we have with you. We want to get you, some special goodies, maybe even a photo, but really just celebrate the connection that we have with you and that you have with the district.
And as we have done every month, we'll have a special grand prize donated by one of our community partners. But for that, you have to be present to win. However, not present to win, but I guess you have to be present to have a chance to win. But we do encourage you to continue to participate in the sessions that you missed, even if you're unable to come to the graduation. There's so much good information that'll benefit you and your family. So please do that, and encourage any other friends and family that you have to do so.
Now, in terms of our top schools, I know we're getting close to the drawing. I don't know if we wanted to give a shout out to our top schools.
We absolutely do, and as it turns out, I believe we've had the same top school every month.
Lee Virtual. Yeah,
Lee Virtual School. So big hand to Lee Virtual School families that have continued to be the top school. But we do have other schools, so you want to give a list of who they are?
Big shout out and thank you to Three Oaks Elementary, Bonita Springs High, Cape Coral High, Fort Myers High, and Sunshine Elementary. Thank you so much for your connection with Session 6 of Parent University.
Now we're going to do our last prize of the sessions before our grand prize at the graduation. So I'm very excited to see what did you have for us today now?
So today,
I think today's prize is really exciting.
Today we have quite the catch. We have a $25 gift certificate to Bass Pro Shop.
Oh wow. I think the winner is Irma Lancaster.
No, that's sorry.
No.
Yeah, sorry Irma.
I didn't take the survey, I can't qualify.
Oh, so we have a very active member. I've seen this name multiple times. Mary McCullough from Veterans Park Academy for the Arts. Thank you so much for staying tuned, and we'll get this gift card to you.
That's fantastic. So you contribute all the time with your comments, so we're very excited to see that you won this time.
That's right. Super parent, super community. We love you, so thank you so much.
Yes, and thank you to all our families. Thank you for joining us on this endeavor. Thank you, Adam. Thank you to everyone behind the scenes and in front of the camera who's helped us with this. And we'll all be there for the graduation, so if you want to say hello, we'll be there and join us on May 7th. Thank you all very much.